So, Microsoft, Obsidian, if you guys have any smart people working amongst you, I'm sure you do, you need to fire this dude. He has become a liability at this point. And the longer he stays, the more he's going to get to open his mouth, and the more money you're going to possibly lose because people are not going to buy your games. And he's getting your company into deep doo doo with basically just outright saying that he hires based on the color of one's skin, which is illegal. So he is a liability. You need to deal with him. Don't just I hope you learned your lesson there, young man. Don't go opening your mouth about hiring people of color over white people now, okay? No, you need to fire him. You're going to lose a lot of money if you just keep him on. You can't see it here, but this ascot wearing freaking ass clown. Yeah, he's like, oh, if you're black, send me a portfolio. You'll always be my top priority because this place is filled with crusty white guys and blah blah blah. It's illegal. Obsidian Whistleblower tells all on Avowed art director Matt Hansen. He likes soft, sensual kissing. He likes to make love. A whistleblower that worked at Microsoft-owned Obsidian Entertainment game studio has shown a light on toxic behavior from Avowed art director Matt Hansen. This dude, again, is a liability at this point. I seem so small. There we go. There we go. There we go. When Hansen took a major victory lap to celebrate the fact that Twitter owned, he basically celebrates the fact that Elon Musk was like, the pronouns don't really belong in a medieval fantasy game. And he's like, oh my god, I can't believe I actually got you mad. Elon Musk called out his fantasy RPG Avowed for its use of optional pronouns in a fantasy setting. He couldn't have known that this whole scenario would snowball the way it has. Hansen now finds himself at the center of a major controversy spearheaded by Musk after he exposed alleged racism and legal hiring practices at the company. We just talked about this like earlier. Different talking about how companies are still. Actually, I think it's Obsidian. We just did this one. How the co-founder basically outright says the co-founder of Obsidian is outright saying, yeah, if the company's discriminated against you because of, you're being white or whatever, you need to sue the company. The dude doesn't work there anymore. He quit. He left in like 2015, so he has nothing to lose at this point. And he's outright saying it's illegal. So if the company has done this to you, sue them. So, hello, base department. But as the saying goes, it gets worse. A whistleblower who previously worked for the developer came forward to YouTube personality Smash JT. Oh yeah, here's the picture of him with his freaking ascot. Smash JT with just stories of his experience working for the company and for Hansen. The shift in workplace dynamics began after Microsoft acquired Obsidian in November 2018 and made them a part of Xbox Studios. They implemented some very strange corporate policies. The first tip-off to Doe that things weren't normal anymore was the introduction of optional but in reality mandatory pronouns in email signatures, meetings, and other communications. It wasn't long before an event he described as a misgendering incident swept through the company, and I'm sure everyone and their fake vaginas were all outraged and, oh my god, we're literally being genocided. We need to take the day off now because someone misgendered us. This led to Matt Hansen sending out a corporate-wide email detailing a zero-tolerance policy on intentional or malicious misgendering. Most of the time, more times than not, it's not even intentional. You see, if you see a guy and he's dressed like a dude, and he starts whining about, actually my pronouns are she, her. It's like, how was I supposed to know that? Okay, that's not intentional or malicious. You see a dude, he's walking around looking like a dude. One is not going to think, oh yeah, his pronouns are she, her, or they. No, you're going to say, hey dude, or, I'm sorry, but that is extremely bigoted. My pronouns are she, her. I don't care. I don't care. I think Sam's outside. I think he's outside the door. The email's tone was described to me as passive aggressive yet threatening, a fair warning that employees who couldn't align with these policies face termination. Ooh, because they mean business. JT went on to say that Doe described the use of pronouns within the company as a way of controlling others. Imagine that. They were used as means of shifting the balance of power within Obsidian and Microsoft. Doe also observed that Matt Hansen was extremely difficult to work with, citing an unwillingness to accept construction. You don't say. You don't say. These people who can't face criticism even online, saying they can't. Really? Really? Wow. Totally we were just sideswiped there. We blindsided by this news that they can't handle criticism. Can't accept constructive criticism, and a consistent tendency to make assumptions about lower level employees. He also said around the time the number of straight white male employees diminished until they could be counted on one hand. Also, Park Place, you do this all the time. Like, counted one hand. Such an easy thing to correct. Be counted on one hand, but instead you put one hand. Again, you guys want to be taken seriously. You get all these whistleblowers and the latest scoop, but you can't take the time to proofread your articles. Every time, I'm telling you this. Every time I read one of your articles, I come across just a blatant, easily corrected error or whatever you want. And I'm telling you, if you want to be taken seriously, then you might want to look and make sure your article is well written. Punctuation's where it's supposed to be, and no stupid spelling errors there. But that's neither here nor there. We're here to talk about this. But yeah, every time I read one of the articles, this certainly falls in line with the potential discriminatory hiring practices. Obsidian is being accused of by Musk and others. Hansen made it clear that he hires based on race, and that people who aren't crusty white dudes are his priority. Doe also detailed a story which, 2 full years after the COVID pandemic, Microsoft attempted to make Obsidian employees return to work in the office to increase productivity and quality. The reaction from employees was not short of completely unhinged. Oh my God, I could get the COVID and my grandma could die. Like, COVID hasn't been a thing for 2 years. You don't understand. Grandma could die. Okay, your grandma's gonna die anyway. You need to either come back to work or lose your job. Simple as that. Don't give these people a choice. Either come back to work or lose your job. Employees just melted down in front of all the higher ups on Microsoft team calls. Apparently, the ringleader of the pushback end up remoting work. Pushback on ending remote work was Hansen himself. You guys don't understand what it's like having to go out in the world. It's been 2 years since COVID. We are still feeling the effects of COVID. I can't even leave this house without a mask. And you're asking us to come into the... Do you not care if my grandmother dies? I could catch the COVID, and I could kiss my grandma, and she may die, because you made me come to work. I'm sure, obviously, that is a made-up scenario. Amid the chaos, Matt Hansen, the art director for over 9 years now at Obsidian, emerged as a vocal advocate to continue remote work. JT said, noting that, according to Doe, Hansen cited various... Of course, it's always mental health with these people.
Oh my god, I have acute anxiety. I have anxiety. I'm bipolar. I have PTSD. I have multiple personalities. I'm autistic, and then...
Notice how every single one of those people, like most of these people on that side, every single one of them has some kind of mental illness, some kind of mental health issue. Mental health concerns for employees as part of the reason why they couldn't come in. Okay, then find a job that's going to let you stay home. Because the only reason you people were home was because of the lockdowns. Lockdowns are over. Get your asses back to work.
But my mental...
I don't care. Get back to work or you're fired. It's been 2 freaking years. Doe stated the extreme COVID caution, along with the massive ideology shift within the organization, turned Obsidian into some kind of new age religion. He noted that the remaining employees were driven by blind obedience and to an ideological dogma. Because it's either that or you get fired. Well, if you don't believe what we believe and you don't go along with what we go along with, you may not find yourself here much longer. If you don't appreciate and truly appreciate pronouns, I don't think you'll be finding yourself working here much longer. And they like to say that the right are on the cult side. I mean, both sides have cult-like behaviors, but these are the people who think that they're so college educated that they're above everyone else. And here they are throwing temper tantrums because you told them to come back into the office. After 2 years, telling people that, they need to respect people's pronouns. Otherwise, they won't have a job. Even, again, it's not malicious if you don't know not everyone goes along with gender ideological crap. If a dude looks like a dude, sounds like a dude, dresses like a dude, and he goes by she, her, how are we supposed to know that on first, when we say, hey, what's up, man? I identify as a female, thank you. That was a microaggression, and I am deeply offended. And I'm reporting you to the supervisor. Because that's how it is. It's not done maliciously. It's a simple thing like, hey, what's up, man? What's up, dude? And these freaking mentally incapable people sometimes, these people with the mental capacity of a 5-year-old, it's like, oh, it's a personal attack on me. No, I saw you. I said, hey, what's up, man? I don't know you. I don't know your pronouns, and yet you're acting like you've been literally genocided. This corporate chokehold has now stifled creativity and stripped games of value for players. Leaders at Obsidian, like Matt Hansen, continue to be empowered to go on unhinged blue sky racist rants, attacking gamers, and being protected by echo chambers of positive. Yeah, yeah. Despite this, Doe said that it wasn't all bad and still hopes. Yeah. What was this? The art director has Avowed. Art director for Avowed, ladies and gentlemen, is your pattern recognition tingling? Characters from the game. Those are some ugly characters. That's hilarious. Oh, you got a Dimian right there. I learned from several people, uh, there, and have a lot of respect for them and their craft. I think there's a distinction. I think the distinction is really important to make because many of these people are good at heart and well intentioned and just want to make cool stuff. Yeah, that's the problem. But they're not allowed to do that because it's like, well, you need to put in the stuff that we tell you. It's like, but that's gonna push people away. Do you want to keep your job? Yeah. Well, then you're gonna put it in the game. It's like it's not gonna. Okay, okay, okay. Pride flags in a medieval fantasy game. Got it. Um, Many of those who've fallen unknowingly to this indoctrination can't really see it for what it is, and the road to hell is paved with good intentions. With Musk's involvement, it seems though a reckoning might be coming for Obsidian. It's as of now unclear whether these well, they probably will. Every time a person comes out and starts rambling and opening his mouth and insulting players, the game never does well. So this is when we can call it. You see coming at you see that this game is going to have a lot of ideological crap, a lot of probably modern day politics thrown in. You have someone working on the game who can't shut up. He's coming out insulting the player base, saying that they're putting things in this game intentionally to piss people off. Do you think it's going to do well? Like every other game that, the companies come out and done that, and like, oh, if you don't like it, don't play it. You're just a bunch of phobes, this and isms. Look what's happened. So we are calling it right now. This game is probably going to fail. If you want to play it, that's fine. I'm just saying, it's going to fail. It's going to have some players, but it's going to be like the rest of the games, and it's going to barely get to 1 million copies within a month. Because this guy doesn't know when to shut the hell up. So, for the people saying, oh, the grifters, I'm not telling anyone to not play it. If you want to play it, go ahead. But don't be surprised when the game fails. Then you'll think back to the people who were saying it. It's like, oh, wow, they were right. Again. Just like they were about Dragon Age. Just like they were about Dustbin. Just like they were about Star Wars Outlaws. Just like they were about Concord. Just like they were about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Almost like there's trends that are easily noticed that tell you when a game is going to be bad. But no, it still comes to a surprise, and then you have people still wanting to defend it. Musk's involvement as of now is unclear. Blah blah blah. However, Musk's connections at the highest level of government, it's certainly possible that any illegal hiring practices at Obsidian will be looked into once the Trump administration takes control on January 20th, 2025. Chris, yeah, we already read that. That was actually the last video I just did. Dude seems pretty cool. He worked. The company worked on Knights of the Old Republic 2. And Knights of the Old Republic, the first and second, are still really, really good. Knights of the Old Republic is still looked at as like one of the best Star Wars games. So, I mean, this dude's cool. I mean, and this dude is one of the co-founders, 5 co-founders. You know, he's one of them, and he's outright saying, "Hey, it has nothing to do with politics. It has they are engaging knowingly within, you know, with knowingly in illegal hiring practices, hiring people based because of the color of their skin. So if you've been told you don't have the job, even if they can, you know, even if they say, oh well, it wasn't for that reason, it was actually, unless they can prove it, unless they can prove it was, because they can look at the applications of the people being hired because of the color of their skin, because of the color of their skin, and the applications of the people who are being rejected, and they can see, okay, well, this one is clearly more experienced, but because he's white, you rejected him. Then a judge will be able to look at that and say, yeah, this is discrimination, which is illegal. Clearly, this person is much, much less experienced than this person, but because this person was black, you hire them based on the color of their skin. You prioritized their portfolios according to your tweet, according to your tweet that you put out yourself, said that you prioritize their portfolios because of the color of their skin. That is discrimination. So this dude is a liability now. But this dude is like, yeah, sue him. It's like, I helped found the company, and I'm telling you to sue them. Yeah, we went about, it's a goal to bring it to light and spread awareness and all that great stuff. While I want success for everyone, I think it's important that it's earned. Yeah. Honesty and accountability is paramount. For those that don't earn it, I hope you learn from your earned failures. Success is built on learning from our past failures. Success can be a blessing, but remember to always stay humble and check your egos at the door when you clock in. That's something these guys can't do, because now this Matt Hansen guy has just become a liability. He can't shut the hell up. He's pissing people off, people who were going to buy the game. And he's the Rachel Zegler of Obsidian, of Obsidian Entertainment. When you clock in, we're here because players support us to do so. We're here to make a fun experience, and provide escapism for them. Maybe even inspire some of our fellow gamers to take up the mantle like we have from those who inspired us to join the creative endeavors of a game development. We are here for the journey and the process, not the destination. Developers win when their players win. And they're gonna look at what this dude said and be like, "Oh yeah, he's a bigot. He's a white nationalist. He's this. He's that." Because these people are so uneducated that they can't see beyond, politics and this and that, and see, okay, well, the guy has a point. It should be based on skill, on merit and all that, not because of the color of one's skin. But no. But yeah, the dude's a liability. If it probably wouldn't have been as bad if he didn't outright tweet it. But no, he was like, "Oh yeah, if you're black and you have a portfolio, DM me personally, and you'll always take priority because it's all the company and the place is already filled with crusty white guys and blah blah blah." You're incriminating yourself. And then again, they'll say, "Oh well, we didn't hire those people for a different reason," and they're gonna look at the people who were hired, who were black, and they're going to look at the people who weren't hired because of, the white ones, and they're going to say, this one's more experienced. So you're saying you want the least experienced people working for you? So it seems like you're discriminating. No. Well, we also have this tweet. This is from Matt Hansen. That's you, correct? It says that you prioritize black portfolios. Can you explain what that is and what you meant by crusty white dudes? Would you mind taking some time to explain? Maybe we're misunderstanding you, but the way it seems, it looks like you're discriminating based on race, which is illegal. Uh, so they can't help themselves though. They can't do it because they have the mentality of 5-year-olds. They throw temper tantrums. They, I've said it before. They're like the kids who, you're standing there telling them you shouldn't touch the stove. You shouldn't touch it, and they burn themselves the first time. And then instead of like learning from it, and you're like, oh, good, you learned not to touch the stove. You're standing there, and they're just like, ow, ow, ow. And you're standing there, you're like, I'm telling you, don't touch the stove. Don't do it. It's just going to burn you each time. And they just don't learn. They just keep until their hand is all freaking blistered and they can't close it all the way because it hurts. Because they kept just doing it. And it's almost like and they were doing it just out of spite because they didn't want to listen to authority or something. They didn't want to listen to you. So they just kept touching that stove despite their, don't do it. You're going to burn yourself. Even though what you were saying made logical sense, they did it out of spite. And that's what these dudes are. Freaking 30, 40, 50 years old. And they're doing things out of spite just because they hate you. You're telling them, I wouldn't put that stuff in the game. I mean, it's going to push gamers away. But yet they keep doing it. They keep doing it. But whatever, it's the new norm, right? Good games are out. Inclusivity and poorly written games are in. Just get used to it. But that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.